How did Toothless become the alpha? Many How to Train Your Dragon fans share the same question. How did this face-licking, clingy, adorable Night Fury, who seems to have zero leadership presence, become the king of dragons? His rise to the top was no accident. After rewatching the films and shorts multiple times, I discovered the key lies in 3 deliberate details the director planted, plus the true meaning of alpha, a term most viewers misunderstand. Part 1. What alpha really means. Alpha isn't a dragon species, it's a title meaning leader. Leadership can exist at any scale. A small tribe has a leader, and so does the entire world. Therefore, alpha can refer to the leader of a small group of dragons or the ruler of all dragons globally. In the first film, the Red Death on Dragon Island was a local alpha. In the second film, the White Bewilderbeast was a global alpha. Part 2. Paths to becoming alpha. Only 3 dragons in the films achieved world-class alpha status: the White Bewilderbeast, the Dark Bewilderbeast, and Toothless. Analyzing their behavior reveals 3 paths to becoming alpha. Path 1. Power plus compassionate authority. The White Bewilderbeast's approach. The most benevolent and highest form of alpha leadership.
When we see the White Bewilderbeast in How to Train Your Dragon Season 2, it's already an alpha. Although the White Bewilderbeast possesses tremendous power and the ability to control dragons, it rarely uses its mind control abilities. Instead, it earns the dragon's allegiance through benevolence and prestige, making them willingly submit. In How to Train Your Dragon 2, when Toothless first encounters the White Bewilderbeast, he isn't forced into submission. Rather, he voluntarily shows respect and willingly acknowledges this king's authority. What does this tell us? It shows that dragons instinctively recognize true leadership, not through violence, but through character. Why emphasize a certain level of combat power rather than the highest combat power? This is a detail many people overlook. We need to understand, first, from an objective standpoint, the White Bewilderbeast at full strength would still be extremely difficult for a Night Fury to defeat. Second, in the series and spin-off works, there are many hidden dragons whose combat abilities are incredibly formidable, possibly even exceeding the White Bewilderbeasts. Yet they haven't become alphas. Why? Because raw power alone isn't enough. You also need benevolence, wisdom, and a sense of responsibility toward dragonkind. This is the revelation from the first path. The highest form of authority comes from combining strength with character, not from brute force alone. Path 2. By defeating your opponent, Drago's Black Bewilderbeast took a completely different route. It wasn't born with alpha status. By directly challenging and defeating the White Bewilderbeast, it seized the alpha title in short order. Toothless also followed this path, defeating the Black Bewilderbeast to claim alpha status. Simply put, it's might makes right. No matter what method you use, as long as you can defeat the current alpha, you become the new alpha.
In the movie, the Black Bewilderbeast is able to defeat the White Bewilderbeast mainly because the White Bewilderbeast didn't deploy its mind control abilities, and it had already exhausted most of its energy in previous battles. Look, it can't even shoot ice anymore. Therefore, it was defeated by the Black Bewilderbeast, and the Black Bewilderbeast claimed the alpha title. Of course, the other dragons didn't submit to it from the heart. It simply used mind control to temporarily make these dragons follow orders. Toothless also became alpha through this path. After breaking free from the Black Bewilderbeast control, he launched his challenge against it, and history repeats itself. At that moment, the Black Bewilderbeast's energy was also completely drained. Look, once again it can't shoot ice. Finally, Toothless charged up a single strike, broke off the Black Bewilderbeast's tusk, and won the challenge. Here's a key point. Some viewers might question this. Both battles were won when the opponent was weakened. Does this really prove strength? The answer is yes. This actually demonstrates another core ability required of an alpha: tactical intelligence and timing. The Black Bewilderbeast chose to challenge the White Bewilderbeast when it was exhausted. This was a ruthless but effective strategy. And Toothless, while under mind control, broke free through his bond with Hiccup and seized the moment when the Black Bewilderbeast's energy was depleted to counterattack. This demonstrates not just power, but wisdom, courage, and strategic vision. This logic also aligns with human warfare logic. No matter what means you use, as long as you win the war, the victor becomes king. So, even if an alpha is weakened, powerless, or severely injured, as long as you defeat it, you can become the new alpha. I have to give Drago credit here. He's genuinely formidable. After the Bewilderbeast became alpha, it still obediently followed his commands. You have to understand, Drago is completely different from Hiccup. Hiccup builds bonds with dragons through friendship, while Drago relies purely on his own absolute combat prowess to forcibly subjugate dragons. The contrast between the black Bewilderbeast and the white Bewilderbeast mirrors the contrast between Drago and Hiccup. One becomes a leader through benevolence and charisma, the other through absolute forceful domination.
Toothless became Alpha because he acquired the Mark of Succession. This is the third path I've deduced through deep analysis of the story's logic. It's not explicitly stated in the movie, but its existence can be discovered through details. My theory is, within an Alpha exists something like a legacy or mark. As long as you obtain this mark, you can become a true Alpha. And acquiring the mark requires defeating the current Alpha. Why do I speculate this? Let's look at the evidence. First, how did the white Bewilderbeast obtain the mark? The movie doesn't directly explain this, but that doesn't stop us from theorizing that it inherently possessed the Alpha's mark, because the dragon's instinctive respect for it says it all. The key evidence lies in Toothless's journey. In How to Train Your Dragon 2, when Hiccup first meets Valka, we can observe a telling detail. Toothless shows a certain fear or unease toward Cloudjumper. He burrows under Cloudjumper's wing seeking comfort and even eats the fish Cloudjumper regurgitates. What does this series of behaviors indicate? At that time, Toothless saw Cloudjumper as a big brother or a superior being. But after Toothless defeated the black Bewilderbeast, Cloudjumper bowed his head to Toothless. This isn't merely recognition of strength, but rather confirmation of the Alpha Mark's transfer. This explains why those hidden dragons around the world with formidable combat abilities can at most become regional Alphas, because they've never obtained that mark. And Toothless, through that final strike defeating the current Alpha, the black Bewilderbeast, acquired the Alpha's mark and became a true world-class leader. With Valka's help, he unlocked his hidden spine ability. With this capability, Toothless can execute sharp turns in midair, directly doubling his flight speed and maneuverability. The deeper reasons why Toothless could become Alpha. After discussing the paths to becoming Alpha, let's delve deeper into Toothless's growth trajectory to further validate why he could become Alpha. First point, the Night Fury species' innate potential. Although Toothless has many behaviors that seem pretty goofy, this comes from spending too much time with humans. Inevitably, there's been some domestication, but the Night Fury dragon species is genuinely ferocious. In the first How to Train Your Dragon movie, when Hiccup opened the Book of Dragons, the book's description of the Night Fury was the unholy offspring of lightning and death itself. Moreover, the book contained no illustration of a Night Fury at all. This further demonstrates that the Night Fury's abilities are extraordinary and extremely rare. These two factors laid the innate foundation for Toothless to become Alpha. Second point, evolution and breakthroughs in battle. Toothless hasn't always been this soft and goofy character. He's been constantly evolving and breaking through in combat. First, with Valka's help, he unlocked his hidden spine ability. With this capability, Toothless can execute sharp turns in midair, directly doubling his flight speed and maneuverability, greatly enhancing his combat effectiveness. Second, when battling the black Bewilderbeast, Toothless relied on his mental bond with Hiccup to successfully break free from the opponent's mind control. Mind you, he was the first dragon in the entire story capable of doing this. This kind of resilience isn't something ordinary dragons possess. After being forced to kill Stoic, Toothless completely broke down. Fortunately, he was awakened by Hiccup, and it was precisely at this moment that he completely shattered his fear of the Alpha and activated Alpha Dragon Mode. His entire body's scales turned into a glowing blue state. His combat power maxed out completely. At this point, in terms of combat prowess, Toothless had fully met the standard for becoming Alpha. Third point, defeating the black Bewilderbeast and officially ascending to Alpha. Having strength alone isn't enough. Toothless still had to complete the crucial step of becoming Alpha, defeating the current Alpha. In the final battle, Toothless, in Alpha Dragon mode, at his peak condition, landed a precise plasma blast that directly broke off the black Bewilderbeast's massive tusk. The black Bewilderbeast fled in defeat. Toothless completely won this challenge. Most importantly, after the battle ended, all the dragons present, including Cloudjumper, who had always treated Toothless as a little brother, all bowed their heads to Toothless. This was the signal that the Alpha mark had been successfully passed on. After Toothless defeated the black Bewilderbeast, he smoothly inherited the Alpha mark that originally belonged to it. This mark made all dragons instinctively recognize his leadership status. This is also the core reason why dragons submit. Let me outline the logic of the mark's succession for you. The white Bewilderbeast possessed the original Alpha mark, which was the foundation of it becoming leader. After the black Bewilderbeast defeated it, it seized the mark and obtained the title, but it ruled through violence and didn't earn the prestige that comes with the mark, so the dragons were only forced to obey, not genuinely submitting. But Toothless not only defeated the black Bewilderbeast and seized the mark, he also possesses the benevolence and wisdom that match the mark. This is what made all dragons willingly submit. At this moment, Toothless officially became the new world-class Alpha, truly deserving of the title. Fourth point, the perfect balance of strength, wisdom, and character. The most core reason why Toothless could become Alpha is that he balanced strength, wisdom, and character. This is also what makes him more qualified than the previous two Alphas. Looking at the entire series, we can see that the most powerful dragons often aren't intelligent, and the smartest dragons often aren't strong enough. Toothless perfectly balances both. This is inseparable from his years living with humans, especially the influence of Hiccup. Hiccup himself is smart and charismatic. Toothless grew up alongside him and not only learned human ways of thinking, but also became more compassionate and wiser in handling situations. He possesses both the Night Fury's formidable power and cognitive abilities and empathy that surpass ordinary dragons, plus qualities of benevolence and loyalty. He wouldn't, like the Black Bewilderbeast, oppress his kind through mind control, nor would he conquer everything through brute force alone. The leadership qualities he embodies make all dragons willingly submit. Simply put, Toothless perfectly fulfills all the conditions for becoming Alpha, especially the core mark succession. He has both the top-tier strength, Pia's benevolence and wisdom required by Path 1, and the achievement of defeating the current Alpha and seizing the mark required by Path 2. With all three elements combined, his becoming leader was only natural. To sum up, by now, everyone should understand, Toothless becoming the dragon leader was never about doing nothing, nor was it luck, but rather the result of 5 core factors coming together. The Night Fury's racial talent is his innate foundation. Continuous evolution in battle is his strength support. Defeating the Black Bewilderbeast was the key to his ascension. Acquiring the Alpha Mark is the core of why all dragons recognize him. And the balance of strength, wisdom, and benevolence is the foundation for him to maintain his leadership position. So when Grimmel calls him Alpha, he truly deserves it. His ability to receive the homage of all dragon clans in the hidden world is completely justified. Alright, that wraps up today's analysis. Friends who love How to Train Your Dragon and love Toothless, don't forget to like and follow. Toothless moves you the most? Tell me in the comments. If there's anything you still don't understand, leave me a message and I'll answer each one. See you next time.